Students, the third figure of speech in your syllabus is personification. Personification means Manvikaran. You have read this figure of speech in your Hindi syllabus also. Personification is a figure of speech by which we attribute life and mind to inanimate things. The meaning of this line is that in this figure of speech, we give life and mind to non-living thing. Non-living thing which have no life, but in personification we treat it just like living being who has intelligence, who has mind. Lifeless object or abstract ideas are treated as if they are human beings. When it has life and it has mind to think, it is just like human beings. So the poet treats them just like human beings. A very common and very famous example of personification is love is blind. Love is an abstract idea. It is a feeling, and blindness is a quality of human being or any other living being, just like birds and animals. But the poet says that love is blind means this abstract idea has been treated just like human being. Why? Just as a blind person doesn't know what is right and what is wrong, where he should go, where he should not go, he does not know the right way to walk. In the same way, the person who falls in love loses his intelligence to think what is right and wrong. For him, what he thinks, only that is right. He cannot take good decision. Here, love has been seen as a living human being who is blind and so cannot see the decipher what is right and what is wrong. So, the poet says that love is like a blind person who is unable to take right decision, who is unable to know what is right and what is wrong. The personified object is written in a capital letter. Whatever is personified, it is written in a capital letter. So it is very easy for you to identify a personification figure of speech. A very short definition has been also given for your comfort. In personification, inanimate objects and abstract ideas are spoken of as having life and intelligence. The same definition has been curtailed for your comfort. Here are some examples. Death lays his icy hands on kings. Death is also an abstract idea. Nobody has seen it. It is felt only by the person who dies, and after his death he cannot tell us about it. So death lays his icy hands on kings. Death puts his icy hands on kings. On kings से ये मतलब death touches everyone. He does not make any difference between kings and beggars. Second, let not ambition mock their useful toil. Here the word ambition has been written with capital letter. So ambition has been personified here. Let not ambition mock their useful toil. This is a line taken from a famous poem, an elegy written in a country churchyard. Here the poet says that the people who are very ambitious, they should not make fun of the hard work of poor people. Authority forgets a dying king. Authority is also an abstract idea. It forgets a dying king. A king who is on deathbed is forgotten by authority, means he loses his power. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The sea is a natural phenomena. This is a natural thing, samudra. and that bears her bosom to the moon. The sea opens her chest to the moon. But patience to prevent that murmur soon replies. Patience has been written with capital letter. Patience is personified here. Patience to prevent that murmur soon replies. Patience is an abstract idea, but the poet says that patience replies. It means he is a human being who consoles the poet to stop his complaint to God. It is also taken from a famous poem on his blindness. Okay, now the next figure of speech, apostrophe. It is a figure of speech whose force lies in addressing a dead person, an animal, a thing, or abstract quality or idea as if it were alive, present, and capable of understanding. It is a figure of speech whose force lies in addressing. Apostrophe means क्या होता है? संबोधन. It is a address. तो कह रहा है it is a figure of speech whose power lies in addressing. Addressing means संबोधित करना. A dead person, a person who has died. An animal. It may address even an animal. A thing, a personified idea or a thing, or an abstract quality, as if it were alive. It is present and capable of understanding. There is a difference between personification and apostrophe. In personification, the poet attributes life and mind to an inanimate things, but here the poet addresses the personified idea. He addresses the dead person. He addresses an animal, a thing, or an abstract quality as if that person, that idea, that quality is present before the poet. O death, where is thy sting? O death. Death is personified, but it is also addressed. The poet wants to know, where is thy sting? O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Julius Caesar was murdered, but he is addressed as if he is present there. Thou art mighty yet. Thou have been killed, but you are still powerful. You are still strong. Frailty, thy name is woman. Frailty is the quality, and here the poet says, frailty, thy name is vivify. Your name is women. O grave, where is thy victory? Grave means kabr. O grave, where is thy victory? Where is thy victory? Victory means vijay. तुम्हारी जीत कहाँ है? O solitude, where are thy charms that sages have seen in thy face? Solitude means ekant. This is an abstract idea. We can feel it. Where are thy charms? Where are thy beauty that sages have seen in thy face? That saints have seen in your face. And the next figure of speech in your syllabus is oxymoron. It means virodhabhas. Virodhabhas means when two opposite ideas are put together. It is an association of two words or phrases having opposite meanings. It is an association. It is a combination of two words or phrases which have totally opposite meanings. She is feeling sweet pain of love. She is feeling sweet pain of love. Pain is painful, but here the poet says she is feeling sweet pain of love. Pain is sweet. So, sweetness and painfulness, two opposite ideas. This is an open secret. Open, which is known to all. Secret, which is hidden from all. but here the poet uses two words together, open secret. ये खुला हुआ रहस्य है. Then next, he is the wisest fool in the group. Wisest means the most intelligent. Fool, foolish, idiot. So he is the wisest fool in the group. Someone has been called by the poet the wisest fool, the most intelligent, stupid, idiot in the group. Two opposite ideas. He is idly busy these days. Idle means lazy. Busy means engaged. So he is idly busy. He is lazy, but he is busy. Love is bittersweet. Bitter means something which is not sweet, and sweet something which is not bitter. तो love is bittersweet. प्रेम कड़वा मीठा है. अब कड़वा भी है, मीठा भी है. Having nothing he hath all. This is also from your poem prescribed in your syllabus. Character of a happy life. Having nothing he hath. A satisfied person may not have anything, but he has everything. Having nothing, he may not have wealth, but he hath all. But he possesses everything because he is satisfied. The next figure of speech is hyperbole. It is a figure of speech of exaggeration or overstatement in order to lay high emphasis on the statement. In hyperbole, things are represented as greater or less, better or worse than they really are. It is a figure of speech of exaggeration. Exaggeration means to make overstatement. बढ़ा चढ़ाकर कहना. Hyperbole means अतिशयोक्ति. अतिशयोक्ति means to say something better or worse than it is really. It is a figure of speech of exaggeration or overstatement. Why? In order to lay high emphasis on the statement. In order to make his statement very emphatic. In hyperbole, things are represented as greater or less, better or worse than they really are. Means, in reality, they are something different. But the poet makes it either greater or less, either better or worse than they really are. For example, she wept an ocean of tears. She wept an ocean of tears means she wept badly. अब an ocean of tears. Ocean means होता है महासागर. Tears आंसू. Nobody can shed tears like ocean. But the poet wants to say she wept badly. Rivers of blood flowed in the battlefield. Rivers of blood, खून की नदियाँ. Flowed in the battlefield, युद्ध में बह गई. तो rivers of blood can never flow because human body doesn't have so much blood. But the poet wants to say that many people were killed in the battlefield. So he says rivers of blood flowed in the battlefield. 10,000 saw I at a glance. 10,000 saw I at a glance. This is also from the poem Daffodils by Wordsworth. The poet here wants to say that a great number of daffodils were blooming and he could see everywhere it. But instead of saying that there were a great number of daffodils, he says 10,000 saw I at a glance. मैंने एक बार में 10,000 देख लिए. Means he wanted to say that there were too much daffodils. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little land. The perfume of Arabia are famous all over the world. They are very, very powerful. But here Lady Macbeth, who has murdered King Duncan, is saying that if anybody rubs all the perfumes of Arabia, she will not get rid of the smell of the blood from her hand. Belinda smiled and all the world was gay. Belinda is the princess. She smiled and all the world was gay. This is also hyperbolic statement. If a girl smiles, how can the whole world be happy? You know, if someone smiles, many of them are jealous of. So how can the whole world be gay? So, it must be clear to you. Now the last but not the least figure of speech is onomatopoeia. Spelling is onomatopoeia, but you will call it onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the employment of words that initiate or suggest the sound or echo the sense. ओनोमेटोपोइया को हिंदी में कहेंगे ध्वनि सूचक. तो ध्वनि सूचक का मतलब क्या हुआ? ओनोमेटोपोइया इज द एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑफ वर्ड्स दैट इनिशिएट और सजेस्ट द साउंड और इको द सेंस बाय यूजिंग द वर्ड्स which makes the meaning clear. Here in this figure of speech, the poet uses such words which makes his meaning more clear. Here sound effect is the most important factor. The sound effect, the sound of the word is very important. The words by their very sound suggest the sense or meaning of those words. The words by their very sound, they give the hint of the meaning of those words. For example, a murmuring whisper through the nunnery ran. Murmuring whisper through the nunnery ran. Murmuring means क्या होता है? बुदबुदाना. Whisper means भी बुदबुदाना. तो बुदबुदाहट भरी बुदबुदाहट ran through the nunnery. Nunnery में फैल गई. I heard the water lapping on the crab and the long ripples washing through the reeds. I heard the water lapping on the crab. Water, when water flows, it makes some sound. So, the poet has used here the word lapping on the crab, and in the next line, the long ripples washing through the reeds. Ripples, the round movements of the water, they are washing through the reeds. Reeds is a kind of grass, sarkanda जिसको बोलते हैं. I chatter as I flow to join the brimming river. Chatter means talk, बात करना. Here the water which is flowing in a narrow stream, it says I chatter as I flow. When I flow, I talk. To join the brimming river, I want to join the river, and while my journey, I talk. Swords clanged and guns boomed. Swords, the sound of swords is called clang, and the sound of guns is called boom. So the swords clanged and guns boomed means there were some battle and many soldiers were using swords and guns. They were making sounds. The door opened with a bang. The sound of the opening door is called bang. So the door opened with a bang. Someone opened the door with a bang. Okay, students. Now you must learn the definitions and at least 4 or 5 examples of each definition, so that you may solve the answers. You get 2 types of question in your question paper. One is write the definition of the figure of speech with 2 examples, and the other question is point of figure of speech. Which figure of speech has been used in the given example? Clear है? Learn it and prepare it for examination. Okay, thank you. Bye.